So how is everyone? This is video number 2 of the day. So if you haven't seen any other uploads notifications, please check my first video out after you've checked out this one. Thank you very much. And thank you to YouTube for continuing to provide such an awesome way of getting content out. But let's get into the meat and potatoes. Look, we have got a killer on the loose. We've got no named suspects. There could be people in the background, who knows? But at the moment, look, let's talk factual information, and that is that we've got a killer on the loose who has murdered 4 students in a brutal manner. Seemingly not so much well, let's just say it seems to be that whoever did this had a huge problem. Very emotional, very angry, very upset. And it would appear that the majority of that anger, that frustration, that hatred was aimed towards Kaylee. Now, could it have been because of her friendship with her best friend, Maddie, who, you know, these two were together growing up. You know, they lived near each other, they grew up together, they went to the same college together, and they would die together. Now, was it that someone was so angry with the bond that these girls had that they destroyed them, and then they went on to kill people who could have potentially seen them, and they were just dispatching potential victims? Who knows? This is complete speculation, by the way. This is my thoughts based on what I'm seeing out there. But you have to ask yourself something. For this to have happened, think about the night, think about the scene, think about what we've heard about the injuries. Now, did this person go into this property, strip off butt naked, do what they did, then put their clothes on that had allowed them to exit this house, leaving no evidence whatsoever? Did they get into a car and drive away? Did they walk off into the wooded areas? Or did they hide amongst the abundance of properties around there and go back to a nearby residence? Is it that they didn't have to go that far, so there was no danger of them being seen? They literally just had to nip a few yards into the sanctuary of their own home. We do not know. But for this to be so targeted, so ferocious, you've got to say this is somebody who were in these victims' lives. And what do we know? Sigma Chi. This is something that is paramount to this, potentially. Now, Sigma Chi has a foundation that has an abundance of wealth. I'm not talking a little bit of wealth. I'm talking about millions upon millions upon millions of generational money. Now, could that money, could that generational wealth be forming a Greek wall of silence? Could the person who did this be being protected? Does someone know what they did? And is money yet again paving the way to silence? We don't know. We can indeed speculate. We've looked over the Truckee situation in the Kylie Rodney case, and I think that there is so many of us, me included, that believe that something happened over there. Something happened in Truckee. Something happened to Kylie. People knew about it. People didn't want to come forward, and they chose to hide what they knew. And it seems that this has happened previously. We've seen the documentaries, Everyone Counts, and, you know, it points to a familiar thing that happens where there's money and things happen. It can be brushed under the carpet. I have said my own story, and I'll say it again for those of you who have not been around the channel long enough. I have had in the past friends who are incredibly rich, who have themselves killed somebody, and the money from their family would go on to get them off that. Karma got them in the end because they were killed in a motorcycle accident. So justice was served. But look, money does make a difference. And is that what we're seeing in this situation? Because how is it that somebody can have this much hatred, this much anger, this much ferocity towards people that they would go on to enter this property, do this in such a heinous manner, be able to walk out of that building scot-free without leaving any evidence whatsoever that we know about? Now, I could be completely wrong and they could have left an abundance of it, but that would have, obviously, I would imagine, have led to them being arrested by now. And we have nothing. We have families who are frustrated. We have police, law enforcement who are flip-flopping from one thing to another, causing even more frustration. And we're having little pieces of information coming out that seems to be pointing towards that this was indeed targeted. This wasn't something that just happened, and it wasn't the property that was targeted. It was indeed the victims, at least one of them or two, and the others just happened to be collateral of that. But if this was targeted, who was so angry? And are you telling me that nobody knew? Nobody knew the anger that this person had. And I'm not saying that it's impossible. Some people can just hide rage inside them. But could this person be still this elusive without being helped? And if they are being helped, is money helping them? Because money does help. Let me know down below. Is there something else going on here? Is someone protecting this perpetrator? And is it indeed the generational money and the abundance of it within Sigma Chi? I'll catch you all in the next one.